It says I'm live. All right. Well, I'll take its word for it because I don't even know where the damn chat here is. I think this is it. I think we are live. All right. So I'm going to try to talk while doing things here as to not waste too much of everybody's time. But today we're going to go over lesson 3. Excuse me, hiccups are a thing. Lesson 3's crack me. At everybody live. Message go. Okay, so we'll wait just a moment to see who shows up, if anybody does or not. Who knows if they will or won't, but I'm sure somebody will eventually. And I believe we are going to be good to go. Not full screen? It is. Screw it, whatever. It's close enough. It's good enough for who it's for. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, first and foremost, I'm back. I had a bit of a minor procedure where theoretically I am now sterile. So, no more kids. 3 is enough. Got 3 beautiful girls. That'll be plenty to juggle throughout my life. And yeah, so that procedure went well. The recovery was a little bit more well, it really wasn't bad, but I didn't want to sit in this chair. Let's just say that. So enter your username, blah, blah, blah. Enter your serial, blah, blah, blah. Keep at it, kiddo. This was the third one where the only thing that I said when I left was make sure that if you patch the program, it still works as an exe. Like, don't just test it in the debugger. And yeah, so we got some submissions here. We got one from good old Blue. You know, he says, rule number 1, you're never too old to learn something new. All right, and a username, and I'd say Blue did it. We'll take a look at how he did it, but first let's take a look and make sure everybody's work. Cat5, he submitted a couple of them. You did it. All right. Second one. So far, none of these are failing, which means they actually got away with it. Konos also gave us a couple of them. You did it. You did it. Crash gave us one. Says you did it. Lesson 3, of course, won't. Now, this one came from the comments. I made a patch file, patched it up for him, and it says you did it. So, good job. I don't know if everybody... I kind of wish that some people had turned in some that did it. Just for an example, but I'm sure they had a few examples along their way of patching that had issues. So, lesson 3, let's toss it in. Okay, let's just close that. Let's go debug. VM might look a little bit different. If the text is too small, please yell at your monitor for me to size it up, and I won't hear you. But maybe we can do something about that here. I don't know why I went to preferences. Just in a moment. 10. Let's bump everything up 1. It should be okay. I like 11 better. 10 was like stuck together. It's weird. All right. There we are. don't see anybody talking in the chat, so I don't know if I'm looking at the chat. Oh, live chat. All messages are visible. Now I can see it. That's so stupid that it doesn't default to live chat. It only defaults to top chat, and I'm not going to make you pay to talk to me. At least not yet. You guys aren't that annoying. So anyhow, howdy. We are here. Almost first. Hi. Sorry I wasn't being rude. This thing is just different than what I'm used to. There's like this bar telling me the number of viewers, and it's going up and down and up and down, whatever. So here we are in thread main, and rule number 1, search intermodular calls, see exit, scroll up to the call just before see exit, and there's your code. So the code looks real funny, but it is the code, and this all should look very familiar to you guys because you did the crack me. And here's that F flush that Cat5 called me out on his reversing. I wish my girlfriend didn't make me pay to talk to her. I think that's called a hooker. I think that's called, nope. Hooker is when you pay for sex. That's called an escort. When you're paying them to hang out with you or talk to you. Anyhow, Cat5 called me out on F flush, using that to clear. The buffer was kind of the one hint that I left in for you to be able to find the code section. Of course, if you've referenced any of my videos in the past, a lot of them go to see exit, the call above it code. It's not hard to find main. Anyhow, here we are. And the first thing in this one was that all of the calls are call EAX, except for load library, get proc address, because that's where we're finding, printf and scanf. And then we're, instead of printfing, we're calling EAX, we're moving those in to EAX and then calling it directly. That masks them from search for current module, intermodular calls. You don't see any printf, any scanf. You don't see that. You see F flush, you see system, which is another big hint. A lot of my programs end with the system pause. And yep, that's the end of the code down there. So yes, that hides it from intermodular calls. So if you went C exit or F flush or any of these get you close enough, or the system call, which would get you there, then awesome. That was a punch. What was a punch? Nobody threw any punches. Anyhow, so when we got here, first we took in some information, then let's see here, this would have been printf scanf, and then this jump here would do some stuff with your name. This one would do some stuff with your serial. This would compare them, set it equal or not. And then the good message, the only message, is printed at this call EAX based off of a calculated message. EBP plus EAX times 4 minus 88. Breakpoint right there. Where you hit run, FJLJ, serial. Okay. So we'll see that we are going to get, well, let's follow. Good Lord, this new version of X32, these icons are ridiculous. I don't even get the icons. Like, I gotta get that back to normal. This whole Easter version is killing me. Oh, anyhow, follow and dump. Everything's Easter. Value at that. No, not the value. Maybe the value. Maybe the value? No, let's just do that. And then let's follow that and dump. Okay, so I seem to have broken something. Yeah, I did. I know exactly what it is, and this is part of like what you would have ran into if you tried to save things in certain places. So first and foremost, let's delete these breakpoints, and I'm going to need to find a safe place to put a breakpoint. And what I mean by that is there's certain ones where certain spots, I know this is safe because I didn't put any protection on any address that did a call or a jump, which kind of makes things a little bit easier. But anyways, let's rewind this. Hit run. Let's put in this stuff. Howdy, Sean Harrison. Hello and welcome aboard. Our breakpoint didn't save because I'm not elevated. Yes. Okay, now let's go to current module. Call, see exit, and now all the fonts are back because now I'm elevated, and apparently it uses a different fucking everything when you go to elevated or not. Alright, and we're back. Alright, so we're here. This runs through the code. Now we have a breakpoint on that. It should stop there. And it does. And now we see that we're going to get the keep at it kiddo. And now this, adds up properly. And it will if we step through it still. Follow and dump, value. We see keep at it kiddo. Now we see just above it exactly that much, which is, 10. It should be 10 or 16. Anyhow, just above it is you did it. So we could try to modify this and be like 7, 8. But that broke some stuff. Did it really break some stuff? Oh, we just used less space. Well, that's scanf. So that went way down too far. Let's try 8.0. That's 32. Okay, we're getting there. We need to go the other way. Let's go 9.8. And let's just do it the easy way. It's so we're at plus 10, minus 10, but EBP plus EAX times 4. Let's go to this one. Yeah, we are here. Oops. And then it's minus that much to get to here. So to get to here, we would need it to be plus 10. I believe it is 8C. There it is. I can't math tonight. Thanks, Cat 5. Anyways, so there, now we see the you did it kiddo. This is all scrunched to hell. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Anyways, now we see the you did it instead of the keep at it kiddo. But while we're in the debugger, that'll work just fine. And then blam. But if we go to patches and we do patch file, we do it example p.exe, and then we try to run example p, you'll find that doesn't say you did it, because the program actually checks itself in various different places in a few different functions. Actually, basically it looks at, it's just a few loops. I believe it was this one actually. Yeah. So it grabs the information at various different places, runs through them, checks them, and basically a checksum. But if it fails, then this value that you get down here is going to be modified by like 1. We could step through it. It would be pretty easy to modify here, but these sections, a lot of those are protected too. So everyone that went through this, you're very familiar that not everything worked. So let's see what did work. Okay, we're at enter username, and not what I wanted to do. Let's do a rewind. Patches. Nope. Patches. Import. And let's take a quick gander at cat5 third. All right, so he's got 2 patches. One that skips a jump. Well, it forces a jump to be skipped. It nopes a jump. Not sure why. Oh, okay, so this first byte was not needed to be changed. Let me demonstrate. Binary edit. That's the same. So if it is going to jump, it's going to go to the next line. If it's not going to jump, it's going to go to the next line. So that first byte there didn't need to be changed, but hey, whatever. Let's take a look at the other one. And this makes sense because this is where it decrements EAX, moves that global variable into EAX, and then does the decrement, and then this stores it back. And then it decrements the basically the return value. So it's like where it's at on the stack. So a lot of people, that's going to be a refresher. But yes, so that needed. All right, let's take a look here. What is this? Oh, that's clever. That's real clever. So this is where it is moving into EAX, that global variable value, and then it XORs against the basically the section of code. Well, what's returned from here, and it's checking that section of code, and then it XORs the values. So basically, it's just going to set that over to 0 and moot, because he's just canceling out EDX, leaving EAX, which EAX is the important one, and then let's put a breakpoint here. These should all be very safe. Apparently, this spot is still safe. I thought I protected this whole chunk. Apparently, I stopped too soon. I think it did here. But let's see if that is even needed. So let's hit run. Okay, we've got our serial. This already says you did it. So what is this needed for? Before it was XOR EDX, EAX. EDX and EAX is 2. And this is 2A. Okay. EDX, EDX. There's that one out. Move EAX, the 2 that we already had there. See, this portion I know is protected. XOR EAX, EDX, which is going to be no change, which is there. Now, if we had XOR this one with the EDX of 2A, it would definitely have just zeroed that out. Well, I believe so. 2A. Patches. Patches sounds like a bunny's name. Have you met my bunny, Patches? Alright, so XOR. It wouldn't really matter because... Oh, yeah, it would, because when we get down to the next one here, because it does a 3-way of 3 different variables. And ideally, they will flip-flop how XOR works. So When you move that one back in and then you do it again, you're going to get the 2A up there. You see how it flip-flopped? So now we've got all users' profiles, see, blah, blah, which is a very interesting thing to try to print because it's an address to it. It's not actually it. But yeah, so that was definitely needed to prevent that from clearing that out. And that, my friend, is clever. Let's open up the bunny here. And let's look at, so that was the third. Let's go ahead and delete that since we've done it. Let's look at the second. And here we've opted, instead of canceling the jump, noping the jump. And then here, instead of zeroing it out, but with itself, we've decided to nope it. So really no change there. The same patches, really. So let's rewind. Good job, my friend. And if any of you watched his video and thought you could download it and try to do it, well, that was a different version. All right, so import. We've checked that. Let's look at Konos 1 byte patch, my friend. Oh, I think this was my favorite. Yes, I was wondering if somebody was going to do this or not. So the global variable that's referenced over and over and over and over and over at address 403.0.0.0.0 is defaulted to 3, which is the keep at it kiddo message. And I was like, I wonder if anybody's going to find this, realize all they have to do is change it to a 2. And you did. And it works beautifully. So this is definitely one of the places that I can't protect. Like, I can't check to see that it hasn't been changed because I change it. So the only way I can protect against that is by checking it against something else that is protected or can't be changed or is from the output, which I totally thought I was doing, but later I realized that the XORs are actually backwards. So it's going to do it and then undo it where it's supposed to do one and then the other. But since 2 of the values after optimization are being treated as the same variable, they're not separate. Yeah, thanks, compiler. Anyways, so these 2 being tied together, if you modify this one, then this one will flip it and this one will flip it back. Yeah, so this will work a treat. Enter your name, and we'll see we have you did it. And we'll see that after we do that call, we have EAX is 2. We move to EDX EAX. Move to EAX. See, this is where we're not supposed to be grabbing it from the global, but we're supposed to be grabbing it from your last answer. Or actually, I think the last answer was here, and then this one was supposed to be the global. And then XOR is going to clear it. We're going to move into EAX R2, and then we're going to XOR that with 0. Once again, we're good to go. So that one works a treat. Let's look at, that one's my favorite if I had to pick one, just because I was, well, let me put it to you this way. That was the one that I wasn't sure if anybody was going to find, and somebody definitely did. They always will. So here's his 2 byte patch. And 2 bytes in the right place. Yep. So instead of move XOR EAX EDX, just move a 2 there right before it does it. I totally thought I protected all of this, but I think I only did this. Let's see. WX dev. I just reinstalled Windows, so. And create the cache now. So a lot of this got around. Oh, don't give me that. Okay, where did I put it? Is in here. Yes, it is. Lesson 3 is actually lesson 4's project file. Okay, so here's your checks. That's the code that we're checking. And they all start 8, 9, 84FF or 31. So 312C. Yeah, see, something's wrong. 8B45, because this is supposed to be checked all the way through there. Did I give you all the wrong one? Actually, through the call EAX. Yeah, supposed to be protected through there. Let's debug my program. So check 2. Oh, don't need that. CHK2. If check2I not equal byte, for the byte that's pointing at the address, that yeah, that's correct. I return +3 is 0 break. So let's take a look at this checksum. Because I feel like this one that modified that value and this one that modified that value. Oh, it's too late at that point. Because by the time it gets down to this, your patches are going to overwrite the function. No wonder. So yeah, there's no way that I could protect it this late. I could pretend to, but fact of the matter is, since that function is called relatively early, so we have the checksum message, return message, and rel message, and that is this call here. So in this call, even if this fails, you can patch it after the fact and it won't matter. So we would need to, yeah, there's really no way you could. So like if you focus all your efforts in here, after this check right here, this does all the summing and the messing up of you, then yeah, all your patches here will work just fine. I hadn't really thought of that. So realistically, on run, you would want to have another check to check whether or not those had been modified, because, and then maybe initialize the global variable with that value. Anyhow, yes, that anything in there that's protected is not actually protected because the call is here and you're going to do it right after. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other ones. Because yeah, this one just, hey, let's move 2, which once you figure out that you just need 2 for the good message, then there you go. So let's look at crash. Now his was another fun one. Excuse me. So his is actually moving where the good message and bad message are going to be stored. So if we run this now, we'll see you did it. And if we follow this in the dump, you'll see that he hasn't modified where they're stored. He's modified the pointers to them. So by looking at, so let's go like this. Let's go to patches because it's pretty clever. There we go. So if we follow this in dump and we adjust magical number, follow this way. Okay, so add EAX 38 and 2B. Enter your serial, LEAX. Oh, okay, yeah. So we move in the this is where it's building the pointers for them. Geez, excuse me. And then it's going to store those pointers on the stack. So in here, he just basically said, oh, well, instead of storing the good message on the stack right there, put the bad message on the stack right there, which even if we had like functions being ran and these were some sort of function pointer, that would still work. But essentially, this is the equivalent of like opening it in a resource hacker or just going in and changing the strings. So for this, it works great because it doesn't do anything else but just display a message. But if it displayed a message and then like wrote registry in the good function but not in the bad function and just displayed a different message, then that different message would just be the good message, but the stuff you actually care about wouldn't get ran. I hope that makes sense. I think it does to most people. So I think that'll be okay. So let's move on to the next one. We got a couple more to go here, and then I want to show you guys something kind of cool. And yeah. This is Blues. And he opted for Blue's favorite method, and that is by modifying jumps. Well, yes, modifying jumps to go to a section of code that does what you want it to do. So Blue knows that when this returns, he needs a certain value. Let's run this. Enter username, serial. All right, so we've broken here, and this used to be a jump if equal, leave. And now the move AL1 is here. Then we're going to jump on out. So if we check that, we get AL1, test AL, jump if equal. So now this is not going to be 0, so we're going to do the decrementing of our global variable, and that's stored right here. And you'll see that now, move EAX, decrement that, store it back, and then decrement what's stored at that EVP minus C, follow EVP, 3, and minus C is now a 2. So those variables, see how there's only 2 of them when really there's supposed to be 3 of them. Yeah, anyhow, got modified. And then we're going to store that byte now that's been modified. Wait, what is it? That's a 0. And it's going to pop it up. Yep. And then add to it. Return, and then of course now our good message is there. So something as simple as, now see in here, if he had modified, say this, or well, not that, but this to be move AL1, it would have been caught. It wouldn't have worked. But this portion is not protected. None of the jumps were. So modifying the jump at the very beginning to say, yeah, I don't care about all that other crap. Just give me what I need, this AL1, and I'll be out of your hair, is exactly what he did. And that works just fine. It works great, in fact. So let's take a look. I think we have one more. Oh, yes, Mr. Bugenhagen. And this one really takes the mustard. I'm kidding. Let me rewind before I do that. Okay, now let's open it up. There we go. Okay, so what did we do? We modified this to move AL1. Great. Although that would be caught by itself. Except in here, he noped out everything that does the checking with the sum values, so now it doesn't. Which is another way to do it. Get what you want somewhere and figure out how to keep it there. So that one is good too. And basically it was directing you all to make mistakes and then figure out how to find what you needed and get to the end with that same thing that you needed and have it run as an executable in the end. So I hope you enjoyed. I will be digging into the submissions, at least 2 of them, to see what, if anything, we can do. But I think it's probably as good as it's going to get. And I think that without any context, just throwing that to somebody, it's a decent beginner level crack me. So I'd say that we could probably upload that as is and feel okay. Now, let's look at something that's not okay. Let's look at something that is definitely not okay. So this is some very poorly written code, and I say poorly written code with a grain of salt. Yeah, that's fine. WX dev. Let's make sure that this works because I don't know well. And let's go to. Oh God, Bing. What is this? What is this? Don't do that. Google.com. Just leave that there at all times. So now, God, what's the new? I'm not even gonna deal with it. Anyways, give.academy. Yeah, it's just give.academy. There's no give.academy.com. It's just give.academy. Anyhow, is anybody still here even? And then this is SS pretest 7Z, I think. Right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm here. Why did it go ding? All right, found it. Open file. And let's put this in folder here. Mr. Sean Harrison, I haven't seen you in quite a while, but hey, thanks guys for sticking around. SSPT, call it that. So, ready to see some horribly written code. Can I open language file English? Great, that's just fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, so I didn't open wxdev, I opened dev. Because sometimes things happen. I was looking at dev C++. There was one that was updated in like 2015 that did both 32 and 64-bit, but I kind of hate it. Because like a lot of the stuff that I want to show you requires the compiler to make old decisions. You know, like not turning on stack protection or DEP or not using ASLR. You know, a lot of the code that I provide, if you compile it on a new compiler, it's not gonna work the same. It'll run, it just wouldn't have the same process, and you might have to fix a few things, but yeah. So I was trying to get it to work, and I was playing around with it, and I got it to work a little bit, but then I wrote a program with scanf, and it just wouldn't even run. So, you know, I'm going to put Microsoft Visual Studio on here because we're going to get into some, like, DL injection and code injection and stack smashing or stack overflow, heap overflow, buffer overflows, stuff like that, and this is entry number 1. So this is the other thing that I hate about dev C++ is the inline assembly is fucking terrible. It's AT&T and it drives me crazy. So yeah, that's why this is gonna look all funny if you don't know AT&T assembly. Good. just don't. Like, I'm not going to claim to know it, but I know that I can convert it. I can write real assembly and then have it converted, because it says the same thing. It's just syntax is way fucking backwards. So here we go. I wrote this little example program in C. As you can see, I wrote most of it in an inline assembly. And if we just look at the main function, see what it's doing here. Here's main. Okay, so first we make a string that says fun and has some stuff in it, and then I just broke it. There we go. Okay, and then it says GMEIP, and GMEIP is exactly what you think it is. It's this program running a bit of assembly to learn its own instruction pointer right now. So that's what this code right here does. This says jump to this. This says pop, push, return. And then when we return, edx will contain our current instruction pointer. All right. And then we do all this stuff. And I did all this just to simulate return-oriented programming. Now, let me show you what that means. And by all means, this is not done properly. It's just I thought it would be hilarious. And let's take a look at it. See if it compiles. Okay, of course it's going to warn us that we're doing weird things, and that's fine. Output, retest. Enter the password! We can type for days. Oh, you be so silly, and then it exited. Now, you didn't see that there. Oh, you be so silly, and press any key to exit. Now, let's say we just put in a lot of A's. I knocked something over. A lot of A's. You know, everybody says throw in a bunch of A's. You know, that you'll overflow the stack and overwrite the instruction pointer or the return pointer. But, yeah, I put in a little bit of protection against that. That's why I said it's simulated. Kind of. It's 80% simulated. Now, if you put in random junk longer than 64 and you aren't repetitive in doing it, it should crash as soon as you hit. Well, it'll say, oh, you be so silly, and then close. You won't see the system. Yeah, like that. Now let's take a look and see what in the world is going on. And first thing we're going to do is hit start as admin. And close this one. There we go. And say okay to that. Okay. Always run your debuggers in admin. Unless you're debugging malware, in which case don't. Store it in a place that it can write files to. Universal adapter has joined the crew. Okay. Anyhow, so here we are. And of course, this isn't the code that you saw, but if we go up to, yes, that's right, see exit in the call above and hit enter, here's the code that we saw. It's crazy, right? So let's put a breakpoint at the top of it and let's hit run. All right, let's see what happens here. F8. This is a call to don't know. I didn't even put it there. You'll recall that, damn it, I put away the source. WX, dev C++, don't show tips, reopen that one. All right, you'll recall that, and this never even gets called. This whole thing up here never even gets called. I may have called it somewhere. No, I didn't. So one of the big problems I was running into with the dev C++, the newest version, was it would optimize out that entire chunk because like, oh, this is never called. Yeah. Anyways, so you'll recall that the first thing is this character and then give me EIP. So this must be creating that character or something. And we see that, you know, fun is here. And you see that it isn't everything else, and that's because I was clever. Put a 0. Okay. Now, if we follow that in the dump address, see that it's all there. Not, because it's going to stop at the 0 too. Anyhow. Oh no, yeah, it's all there. It didn't stop at the 0. And that's good. That's very important because we might need that later. But in general, that whole thing not used at all. So move EAX, the 402 is 0, 0, 0. Now that is going to be, putting things back. Anyways, so now we do a call EAX, right? It's putting our function pointer. So give me IP. This is a call to this function here. So it says this address to EAX, call EAX. So putting things where they need to be so that we can do that. Now if we hit F7, you'll see that it brings us to just some random place. And that's because it's literally written right here. It's just some random place in memory where I put opcodes that now I'm saying, this is a function, please run it. Yeah. So now this call is going to call, did you see that? It's going to call this line right here. What does a program do when you call? What does it do? It puts the return pointer onto the stack. You see that we have a return to 4013DC, and if we were to follow it, we'd be coming back to where this called us from, right? Well, if we do another call to here, and this isn't needed. This could just say pop EDX, push EDX, return. Literally only here for like demonstrating this closely here. So if you F8 or F7, you'll see that we called this address. Now our return pointer to this address is on the stack. If we pop it to EDX, and this is why I had to pop twice here, because now I have this call's return pointer, which is here, which is technically our last instruction pointer, then great. But we don't want that. We want where that other code's at. So we want this one's return, but now how do we get back? All right, so EDX now contains our old return. We push it. We put it back. All right, thank you. I have it. It's still in EDX. Now put it back on the stack because this return's going to need it. And you see now we're here, but in EDX contains 4013DC. We now know that value. We could even return it in this program from this, and we could use it to do whatever we want. I probably could have written this that way. But anyways, I didn't. I wrote it all by hand, and it took stupid amounts of time. But, sometimes you just get sucked in, and you're doing it because you are having fun. By the way, I think CodeBullet just uploaded a new video, AI Learns to Walk, like a couple, maybe an hour and a half ago. You guys should totally watch it after this. That's what I'm going to be doing. Because, yeah, that guy's great. I like his attitude. He's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'll do it when I get around to it. I mean, in that way of like, yeah, I have a life. I love it. It's great. Anyways, add EDXB. Well, we know that EDX is our current instruction pointer. Why would we be adding B to it? And what is that going to do? Well, it's going to put it right here. What you see now, we're going to push that to the stack 3 times, subtract 7A from it, push it again, and then return. All right. Let's watch that. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 pointing to this address on the stack. Then we're going to subtract 7A from it, which, if we scroll up, is this address, which, if we scroll over, says, enter the password. Hi. Sorry for the random highs. I'm responding to people in the chat. If you watch it live, you get that. For all of you people watching it not live, which you can see the chat, so maybe you know I'm responding because you're not an idiot. I'm an idiot. Enjoy your day. Anyhow, so we know now that when we hit a return, after we push that value to the stack, what does return do? It grabs the top of the stack and sends the instruction pointer there. So, bingo. Now we're going to go enter the password, and we're going to put that to the screen. And if we have the screen up somewhere where we can see it, because we like to see output, boom, you see enter the password. Then we pop EAX, which usually after you do puts, you don't do that. So that's why these look really funny. You know, I have a printf with a pop EAX and a return, and then I have enter the password with a pop EAX and a return. Basically, I was being nice in case you wanted that value. I'm returning it. And I needed to get to my addresses. Obviously, I could have sub, 4, or add 4, rather, yeah, to ESP, but no, I wanted to get them off the stack, which they're still on the stack. Anyways, yeah, you can't really remove things. You can place things and move the current frame. Anyways, so now that second of the 3 that I pushed onto the stack, now the first one got absorbed from that. It just needed to, put that on there, and in this version of this compiler, it moves it to the top of the stack instead of pushing it to the stack, which, yeah, that's fine. I've seen it both ways. It doesn't really matter, but anyways, so it used one up for that. Now I have one left. We're going to return to that spot, and the first instruction at that spot is, that's right, give me my instruction pointer back. And you'll see now we are at God, how many times are we going to move this? Oh, it's just a scroll. Got it. How many times are we going to scroll wrong? Let's just move this a little. Okay. And we could move this a little. That could fix things. I don't know why that needed to be so large. Didn't. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I don't like it. Need this back. There we go. So now we're going to add to EDX 14. Well, EDX is currently here. If we add 14 to it, oh, that's right. What do you know? It's right there. And look, it tells us that. It's so about it. It tells us that's going to be what. And you'll notice that when we do add that, it's going to say, look, EDX points to this address, bro. All right, so that's the return. And now we're going to push that on the stack, not 3, but 4 times. We're going to move to EAX ESP, which is just saying, hey, give me the stack point, the stack address right now. And it says add to EAX1C, which is going to be here. Move EBX EAX, EBX AX, FEEC, and you'll see that in here, FEC, subtract 71 from EDX, and oh boy, let's do that, and we'll see where it goes. It goes to here. You'll see that it's going to do this scanf. Now, we didn't want to load an address. We did that already, so we put it in EAX. And then it's going to push that address and return. Push, return, same as a jump. And then, of course, we want to return back, so that's why we had to put our, where we wanted to go back onto the stack, so that when we hit this return, we're at this one. Now the other 3 are just because it's going to use a few of them. So it's going to use 2 of them right now. It's going to move EAX right there. And it's going to move this string 64S, which means scanf is going to try to take in a 64 character string up to. Yes, that's how you make it safe. Anyhow, so scanf. All right, we hit F8, we're running. We need to enter the password. And I've got some real funny looking passwords I'll show you guys in a little bit. But for now, let's just put in 11112222334. Why am I doing them in groups of 4? Many of you know the answer to that, but that is so that if I do overwrite an instruction pointer or a return address on the stack, I'll know which section of my string did it. In groups of 4, because addresses bytes. Enter. So we did a scanf, and you'll see that here's our stuff on the stack. Got written there, starting at FEEC. Cool. And then you'll see that we're going to pop EAX. We're going to remove that value. And then we're going to do it again. Yep, just to get back down to our return addresses here. And of course, just to be nice, if you wanted to use that value for something, you could. Okay, so pop EDX. We want to get our instruction pointer back. 3FB, it's right there. We're at the next one. Now we're going to add to it 23, which is right here. Starting to make sense? Now this is where the fun comes in, because this is where the simulation could occur. So move EBXEAX. It's already there. But is it guaranteed to be there? Because I didn't put it there. Move ESP plus 1C EBX. Doesn't give us a lot of room to work with here. So we notice that 1, 2, 3, 4 are still there. 5 got changed. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are still there. Pop EAX. Pop EAX. Pop EBP. Pop EAX, ECX, EBX, EBX. So now we have 1, 2, 4. And then we have this garbage value that I'm going to throw away in EBP. Then you see it does an XOR ECX with EAX. You see that did that. And then you see an AND ECX with EBX. Well, that's going to be 0. Add ECX EDX. Well, wait a minute. That's our instruction pointer that we had. Or something, but it's a little off now because it's pointing to here. But yeah, that's our instruction pointer. It's pointing to there. So we're adding that value to it. Then we're going to push ECX, EDX, and EAX. We're going to subtract EDX A5, which put it way up here where we do a pop EAX and return. So we push that, we return, pop EAX and return. And now we're doing this sub ESP4. Needed my EDX back. And this is the EBX, the original one that got put on there. Add EDX 17. All right, that puts it here. Push EDX, sub EDX D9, add EBX 19. Okay, so now EBX lands here. Push EBX, EBX, EDX, and return. And EDX points up here where it says, "Oh, you be so silly." Puts pop the "Oh, you be so silly," and now it's going to return to 401437, which is here. But if you saw it, you will know that we can redirect where that goes. And I can show you that. Pretty simply by doing this again and typing in a bunch of random garbage, which we will do now. But, of course, there is a good message which says, congratulations, you got me. But can you get, and then it says some other stuff like command.exe. Can you get command.exe, question mark, question mark? And gee, I wonder if I happen to strategically put these in, different sections for you. But yeah, I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. You tell me. I'm sure I did. Anyhow, so let's just take note that we want to make it jump to here to print that good message. How the hell would we do that? And this is like rule number one. There's no patching. You got to do this with your input. Like, obviously we could just patch a jump there and call it good. Like, this isn't a correct me. It's not a patch me. This is a very basic intro to a, well, it's a very weird intro to a simulation of a redirection via stack smashing. Let's call it a bug in a program that we're going to learn to exploit. I didn't want it to be like everything else being the same as every other example out there for stack smashing. Anyhow, so let's hit run. And let's enter as a password. Oh, we hit run. Damn it, okay, let's put a breakpoint here. And something that's really like easy about this like return oriented programming is it's so damn linear. Like, this code right here from there to there is the whole program. Like, that's all you really need to know. And then it's jumping off and, you know, using these functions, but it's all right here in a line. And that was kind of the point, was, hey, programming is a lot more linear than what you think it is, and it can be. But basically, instead of doing all these things over here, I've exploded them and said, no, put the instructions here. God, my camera's tiny. And then, you know, branch off when you need something. Just a funny little thing I wanted to do. See if I could do it. I mean, when I realized that Dev C++ was in AT&T, I damn near just said screw it at that point, when I was like, I'll deal with it. Anyways, so we want a breakpoint there and enter the password, and let's just put in a bunch of random garbage. That's plenty. Pop EDX, cool, add EDX. And now we're gonna get into our junk. So EAX. So now we're gonna see EAX gets some value that we entered. ECX, EBX gets some value that we entered. And then we get rid of that garbage in the top of the stack, and all of this is up until there is stuff that we typed in. So now we're going to XOR ECX with EAX. We're going to AND ECX with EBX, so only the bits that are the same will remain. Okay. Ooh. Okay. And then we're going to add ECX with EDX. Now, there we go. Now we're going to push those two values. Push ECX, push EDX, push EAX. And then we know that EAX is getting wasted, so we don't have to worry about it. Sub ESP4, but it's not over yet. Add EDX17, push that. Sub EDX D9. Now we're going to add to that value in EBX that we had control over the calculation, another 19. Right? All right. Now it's going to push that twice, and then the EDX value, which does, oh, you be so silly, pops it. Now, from this point, we're going to return to this address that we put there. And that address is garbage. So what would you need to do to put an address in there that redirects it to where you want it to? So let's take a closer look at that segment. Notepad. So working backwards, we know that we're going to be getting plus 19. Our address starts as plus 19. And then we have an add of ECX. Now let's just run this again here. Okay, so we are going to plus 19, and then it adds EDX, which is plus 19 plus 40141E. I've typed that so many times in the last few days that I should have it memorized. I kind of do. It's now that I've been reminded of it, I do definitely. Starts as OX19, OX9. Okay, so we start with a base address. So let's see here. Calc X 40141E plus 19. We start with an address of 401437. Whatever we feed in gets added to it. So there's no way, say that in quotes, that we can access anywhere above this address. There is a way. But that's a much deeper one. That's a rabbit hole that I'm not going down on this stream, because that would take us a while. So we're happy with that because our congratulation message, someone just strategically put below that point. Now, if he had put it up here, then we would have to go through that rabbit hole of oh my goddery to try and get to it. But that is a much more advanced lesson. I'm not going to put you guys through that just yet. So I'm going to go through it once. And y'all are going to want to download it. And it's in the description. It's there right now. You could be doing it at the same time. You don't even have to compile it. The EXE's in the description. Y'all going to want to do it. And you're going to want to learn this because you will. Anyways, so we know that our address is going to be target equals. We know we want to get to here. Copy address. Target equals this. So getting that address, so it's going to be that minus this. So let's break this out here. Target address, target return is this address. Let's do that. Okay, and that means our, we'll call this result, target result. Target result is equal to OX4014BO minus that, and that equals (4014BO minus that equals 79). All right, so our target result, that means when we get to right here. Now, how do we get there? Well, we have an AND and an XOR of two values that we give it. And if we recall correctly, it was 1s, 2s, and 4s. So the first, let's just rewind and do this one more time, just for everybody to make sense of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough. I know it's enough. Done this before, I think. Like earlier. Okay, so now we're here. And let's see what values we get where. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 4. That means that in this string, we've loaded in the 1s, which are represented by 3, 1. The 2s, which are represented by 3, 2. And we skipped the 3s and went straight to the 4s, represented by 3, 4s. All right, so what does that tell you? We have complete control over what goes in there, as long as it's a non-zero character and we can type it. Well, it's time to learn something. So let's talk about XOR. Our first hurdle is going to be an XOR. XOR is kind of a three-way, two-way sort of. If two guys get together, they both know the third. Doesn't matter which three guys get together or which two guys get together, they both know who the third guy is. If I say, hey, Cat 5, where's Crash? He'd say, oh, he's over there. And if I went, hey, Crash, where's Cat 5? He'd say, oh, he's over there. And if they got together and said, where's Frank? They'd say, oh, he's over there. Let me demonstrate, because that might not make sense. So we know that we want to get a 79 after some XOR value. So what do? Well, let's XOR 79 with some value. Let's pick my favorite, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. All right. So 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1 gets together with 3, 8, 3, 8, 3, 8. If we XOR those, we get them together, and they say, hey, 79's over there. Alternatively, what number was that? 3, 8? 4, 1, oh, damn it, I just screwed up. 79 XOR 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. Was it 3, 8? 3, 9, I don't remember. It definitely wasn't. 79 XOR. Okay, let's just do this again. 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. It was 3, 8. I just can't type. Anyways, so if we XOR this with 79, we will get 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. And let me do that one more time, and we'll copy this. And if we XOR this with 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, we'll get 79. Now, if we XOR that with this value, we'll get 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1. You see where I'm getting at here? So the reason that works is it is anywhere that there is, but they are not both. So as defined by, let's look at this on 1 byte. Let's go with 8. 18. Oh. C. Yes, C is a good one. Okay, so binary for C is 1100. 1100. Now, exclusive OR means one or the other, but not both. So if we give it this value, we will get out 1, 1. Oops. 1, 1, 1. Right? What is that value? That value is 3. Right? So if we, and then this bottom value is F. 3, 8 plus 4. 1, 2, 4, 8. 8 and 4 is 12, and 2, yes, 16. So it should be F. So if we XOR with 3, we'll get F. If we XOR that with C, we'll get 3. If we XOR that with F, we'll get C. If we XOR that with F, we'll get 3. You know, blah, blah, blah. Is this exe you made a result of the pointer patch I did? No. This exe, the one that I'm showing you, is the result of me wanting to show you guys how to play with the stack a little bit and redirect program's flow to a specific place. So, because like I said, last video and the video before that, we were going to do that lesson 3. Then we're going to change our gears for a little while, do something new, and then we'll be coming back to more things. Basically, we're just going to keep learning a bit, kind of like in school. You touch a subject here, you go through it for a little while, go to another subject, go through it for a little while, and eventually we'll come back to the first subject, but a little bit more advanced. Keep it fresh. Anyhow, that's exclusive OR. If we gave it a value of, so we have our C, and we gave it a 0, 1, 0, 1. This would return a 1, 0, 0, 1, which is 9. So if we look here, we see that. So let's just go C XOR 9, and we should get this value, which is 5. We do. So how do we get a 79? Well, I'm going to pick XOR 41414141. Why 4 1s? Because 4 1s is amazing. You got to believe me. It's pretty simple. You go ASCII table. I can't spell. You look for 4 1. You find 4 1, and it's your capital A, buddy. That's why, capital A. Of course, I said something about the pointers crash. He says, okay, just wondering because he said something about the pointers. Of course, I said something about the pointers. I looked at everybody's patch and I said, this is clever. He's changed where the strings pointers are pointing to. However, it's only going to change the output message. Whoa, that's a big calculator. We covered this already. Where in that example, it works perfect because that's all you had to do. Boom, done. But if there was a decision-making process there that would call it another function, and we didn't actually go into that function, we just changed the message before the function, then it wouldn't work. But yeah. Mentioned asking where I was. Huh? Oh, no. No, I was just explaining XOR because it's like, you can describe 3 things, and if one of them is missing, the other 2 can always figure out the third. It only takes 2 to get the third. That's all that was XOR. With XOR, you can have 3 numbers, but you only ever need any 2 of them to, recreate the third. XOR blew my mind as a young child, and I was like, that's so cool! Like, I thought it was magic. And then I had to do it in the binary, and I was like, oh, it makes so much more sense why that works. And then I have sheets of paper somewhere that I've written down, just like tons of binary, where I did XOR for hours, just because I thought it was the coolest thing. And I was like, oh, so if I take this text file and XOR everything, every 2, and then, wait a minute. If I XOR everything by a constant, wait a minute. I'm just trying to figure out how I could like encrypt, and you can encrypt. XOR encryption is like very, standard type of encryption, but or it's used quite often as well. Anyhow, then I was like, file compression. I'll convert everything to 1s and 0s and string, and then I'll XOR. Wait, this got way bigger than the original file. That doesn't work. But yeah, there's my brain got stuck on XOR. I was like, this is awesome. Anyhow, so back to the point. What do we hear? This is 79 exclusive ORed with 41414141, which is equivalent to A. So we want to make sure that so which one of these, ECX is our result, right? So this can be our capital A. That's correct. Oh, it really won't matter. And then our 2s need to be this value. So what is 41414138? And of course we have to put these in little endian, not little Indian. That's like Indian in the Cupboard is a movie. He is a little Indian. But no, this is little Endian, which means, long story short, things are backwards. All right. So 3-8 would come first. So right here, this 2 is the only thing that we need to change. The rest of the 2's are capital A's. Now, what is 3-8 and how do we type it? Right? X 3-8. It's decimal 56. Now, we could go over to the ASCII table and be like, all right, that's that character. Or you could click right here. Now, what you're going to want to do is break out your numpad. I once had a laptop with no numpad. Yeah, back in the day they didn't have numpads. Still some today don't have numpads. Don't know why, because numpads are powerful. Anyways, I had to use an on-screen keyboard to do this once. Hold Alt on your numpad, type 5-6. Boom, it's an 8. Now, of course, we knew it was an 8 because it's hex 3-8. We all know that that's an 8. But yeah, so now we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 8. Now, we might get into something else. I have a problem with ws232.send. I make breakpoint, but when I press F8 to return, I come every time to another point which I don't want to be. Can you give me something to contact, please? You're contacting me right now! And I love your name, Hemp Day 420. That day is coming right up in about an hour. And that's just magical. Some of you are already there. Jelly. Anyhow, okay, so breakpoint on ws232.send. Now, are you breakpointing in the library lib ws32, or are you breakpointing in the program's call to it? If you're putting a breakpoint in the library, then you're going to need to follow it back through the chain of God knows what they called it, which you can do. Just keep doing execute till return and then step. So once you hit a return in x32 DBG, whatever you want to call it, execute till return is control F9. That'll hit a return. Now, if you do control F9 again, you're going to land on the next return outside. So if you want to follow the chain all the way back, you'll do execute till return, which is control F9, and then F8 to go in, and then control F9, and then F8 to go in, and control F9. So eventually you'll get back, as long as you watch your module up here, you'll get back to where you need to be. But it could be a while. Alternatively, you could find references to that, but if that's the whole point of tracing it back from the library, is you couldn't find a reference to it, maybe calculated, or they use some function pointer, then yeah, you can definitely do that. Now, it will immediately go back to what called it, but there can be some steps in between as well. And then if it used like a message queue, you might only find the Windows procedure where it's handling some sort of window procedure message translation. It's definitely can be tricky. But if you hop on the Discord, which is another way to contact me, link is in the description of all of my live streams. As pop into Discord there. Then you can ask me or our lovely community, which you guys are awesome, really are. Keep me on my toes and kind of encourage me, give me ideas. Most of my ideas come from these guys because, let's face it, I've been on YouTube for, like 10 years? Maybe longer? I'm out of ideas. If I had new ideas, I would be, enthusiastic on making videos like this one. I had, been given some semblance of an idea. I was like, I can try to make something that does that. This will be fun. And here we are. So, yes. Anyhow, ding. Let's just go ahead and steal that from Coding Train. Let's get back to what we were doing. I digress. Editors, please fix. So we are typing that 3-8. We got a 3-8. We got our A's. Now we got to replace these other, was it 2s or 3s? 2s. So the other 2s, we knew that because it's a little endian with A's. 1, 2, 3. So now we get to do more A's. That's a lie. I'm not the only one that makes good reverse videos. I may be the only one that makes good, easily understood and followed beginner videos, but there's some good ones on. You just gotta find them. Like Mr. Cat 5, he's starting up a channel. He's got a few videos. Looks great. Keep it going when you can, of course. I'll be the first person to tell you I understand that life can be rough sometimes. Anyways, we've got our 1s, we've got our 2s, now we need our 4s. And what happens with our 4s? Our EBXs are an and. Gasp! What does and mean? Well, it means that if they don't match, it gets rid of it for you very conveniently. Just get rid of it. It doesn't match. So we'll leave it as 4s, except the very first one we want it to be, you guessed it, it needs to be a 79. Well, hex for 79 is 121. Let's look at our little ASCII table and go, hex for 79 is a Y. That took a lot longer than if I would have went here and went Alt 121. That's a Y. There we go. So, if we did this all correct, we will now get a 79 after we hit here, and yeah, after we hit here, and then this will add to that 79 this value that we want. Wait, no, it'll add to it. Wait a minute, what? It's gonna add to it 414. I screwed up some math somewhere. Oh, no, because it also adds. I think it's correct. Let's just do it and find out. So we're gonna grab that. We're gonna rewind. We're gonna hit run. We're gonna hit run. We're gonna enter our proudly made password. Serbian is an excellent reverse engineering professional, I'll call him. And I wish that he had much more videos, because they are very good videos. And yeah, I wouldn't say too beginner or even beginner friendly, but if you put the time in to watch it, rewatch it, watch it carefully, you'll learn it. And if you put the time in, basically I'm saying you get what you put in. You get back tenfold the amount of energy you put in. It just might not all hit you at once. You might do a little bit of struggle in here, and you might suddenly, understand one little thing, and you're like, oh, great, I learned. And then you'll do a little bit more here. You're like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm kind of learning. And then you'll have another aha moment where you're like, oh, yes, I learned. But then one time you'll get like here, and it'll tie together like that whole first chunk. You're like, oh my God, that all makes sense now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how it works. Your stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than recommended. God, I hope 0 is lower than you recommend. But it's definitely not. It's 4K. Is this still working? If it is, I'm just going to ignore that. It looks like it's working. Wee, wee, wee. Yeah, it looks fine. Anyhow. So if we did this correctly, I need to hit F8 over here. Then our password is going to get pulled into these values. We've got our A's, our 3, 4, 4s, and our 7, 9, and our backwards, that one. Yeah, leave it to me. Anyhow, XOR ECXEAX. You'll see we put 79 at the wrong damn end. Yeah, we want to end. We want it at the end, not the beginning. Gave a whole rant about that. Anyhow, that's okay. This won't error. Seems to be good. Good. Crash says it's fine. It's fine. So this won't cause much error because the AND is going to clean up things for us. We're going to be 3K for, yeah. So see that now we're massive. But let's go ahead and rewind and put in the proper one. See, that's why you have a debugger. Use your tools. So we're going to skip on back down there, and we're going to see now we have our 41414138 and our 41414141. We know that if we XOR those together, we get 79. And since we strategically put a 79 right at the end of that one, guess what? We get 79 gets to stay. It gets to stay. And if we could have filled this with garbage over here, any XOR that ended with 79 and not anything that this would, 3, 4, 3, 4, then it would zero it out for us. And says you got to have a bit in each spot, then it can be 1. If one or the other is different, then no. Yeah. So now we're going to add to that 79. Boom, 401497, follow in disassembler, and we are off on our math. Because we needed to be 4014BO. But remember, we got to add to it still. So now we're going to push, push, push. We know the EAX is going to get ripped away. It's gone. Bring that back. We get our EDX. We get our EBX. We add to the EDX. Push the EDX. We subtract from the EDX. Now we get to add our 19. And look. 4014BO. Follow and dump. Not dump. Follow and disassembler. Congratulations. You got me. So now we're going to push EBX. We're going to push EDX. We're going to return. We're going to do the oh, you be so silly right over here. Keep moving that, and this thing's supposed to stay where I put it, but some of the settings are still not proper. I'm glad that you are enjoying it, Cat 5, because this was based off of your ideas. And I wanted to see if I could just write a really weirdly written program where like there's a bunch of function calls up here that are never called except only in returns. Anyway, so now from here we're going to return to where? Yes, that's right, our congratulations message. And it was going to print out all this stuff. And then you see it's going to return to 373737. So it says, congratulations, you got me, but can you get command.exe? And I kind of left this one open. That's why I said it's like simulated. So I kind of left it a little open here where could you get a command prompt? Let me just say yes. There's many ways you can. But you'll see that 37 is the next thing that's going to get called. So we could redirect to anything else. So let's go 8888, 9999, 888, BBB, CCD, DDD. Oops. So let's grab those and let's rewind, run it, and of course, let's just break on our congratulations message. Let's remove the breakpoints, Alt B. I'm going to remember that. So let's just break here. Let's run. Put bigger long string in. Oh, you'd be so silly. We're landed on our congratulations. And you'll see that after that, we are going to return to 37. And look, we have 8s, 9s, A's, B's, C's, D's. A's, B's, C's, D's, E's, and F's. And this will keep going for a while. You have 64 characters is how much space I gave you, which you can actually exploit that too, but we're not getting into that in this video because that's a whole other thing. Now I will show you just briefly that it is possible with one that I pre-constructed, but you're gonna have to work the math out for yourself, or write it down from the video. on how to get a command. And I'm going to host this executable on a netcat session that will relaunch inside a VM so that you guys can telnet in and try to get a command prompt on a remote server. Because the first time you experience gaining physical access to a computer through running command.exe with a system call, or that's the equivalent of running, getting root on a server by calling bash, with the system call. It's the same thing but Windows version, right? So the first time you do that and you're like, whoa, I now have a command prompt on another computer. It's really cool. You're like, I did that with a string. I typed it in. Anyhow, so I did prepare one earlier, and let's see if it works. I haven't ran it yet, but I did the math and made it jump to a spot that I know works. And there we go. I'm going to hit F9. Oh, look. Who am I? L2, L3. We have a command prompt. Now, you might think, well, the program just exited, but we didn't run it from command, and it's still running right here. And it's still called sspretest.exe. Now, there's many ways to do it. I may have cheated a little bit, and any of you that write that down, good luck writing it down, because this character right here could be several. But if you get all of them but that one, you can do the math to do it. Actually, you can do the math to do it just off the other one, because XOR. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of did a little bit of cheating, where I just told it to jump to a certain specific place. So, what was the password thing you mentioned earlier? What do you mean? Not sure I know what you mean. Oh, and we're administrator also. So, or we're in an administrator console. And you can switch directories too. You said something about a password. I mean, this says enter the password, and then I put this in. I said I was going to host this on a netcat session so that you can telnet in. And, well, here, I'll just demonstrate that real quick here. Do I have? Yes, of course I do, because I have. Do we have nmap? Yes, we do. Okay, let's see here. How do I remember any of this? Grab command. Grab start. And see? Cat. And cat. H. Let's see, does this work? ls /mount c users 2L3 desktop s. What did we call it? Not that one. SSPT output debug. There we go. So let's go here. ls. Okay. ./SSPT. Cool. It does run. The string in there. Crashes because we're in Linux. That might cause us some problems. But ncat-h see here. Executes the given command via bin-sh. Let's do. Ooh, can I do cmd.exe? Oh, yes! Great. Exit. So I can do ncat dash. Let's see if this works. E cmd.exe. I'm gonna need some quotes. Dash k. Excuse me. ss. Damn it! What's this file? Retest. See, does this work? And we want dash l. There's no listen harder, is there? I haven't used this in so damn long. Oh, right there. Keep open. L-K. L-K. That should do it. Answer telnet. We don't care about that. Allow give notes to connect. Oh, port. Probably P. Yeah. There we go. Dash P. Let's do 1337. Let's. All right. Allow. All right. Now, do I have NC? Ooh. NC dash H. C 127.0.1.137. Or else I know. I want to connect. Connect to somewhere. NC options. Host name space port. So this did work. But yeah. Oh, exec no file or directory. Got it. Let's try B. Was it B? No, it's C. Oh, that just gave us straight up command prompt. Not exactly what we want. Exit. Close. Go like that. Let's go command dash C. Nope, still not right. CRC MD dash that. Okay, creates. Oh, okay, yes, dash C. Got to use the right C's, and this will probably be complaining about a path because it does that. Okay, that closes. Oh god. Double escapes everything. Don't forget your escape characters. Don't forget to tip your waitresses on their way out. All right, it filters those right out now, doesn't it? Let's try doing them backwards. It's not, I mean, I think Windows will. This is really odd trying to run a exe through a command call through a Linux desk or Linux on Windows. It's odd. See if that works. Ooh, we've got something. So let's put in some stuff here. Try mount C. Yeah, I was gonna. Oh, whoa, Serbian Phantom's here. It's like you hear us talking about him and you show up. Yeah, the mount C, I didn't think it would work in the context of command.exe because we break context a couple times. Like in here, we're going to be the mount C, but then over here, WhatsApp is an app. That's an app. But not too much, man. It's always a pleasure to see you. So let's send this, and we got nothing back. I don't think it's gonna send the responses, but let's try our little special string with our special sauce here. Oh, look, we got a command prompt, so it does work. Who am I? This is gonna be weird. So we're inside Windows Subsystem for Linux in a command prompt in Netcat through an exploit. So we're not getting any responses. Probably let's add a delay /d. So you notice when I closed the Netcat, we got kicked out of our shell. So yes, a -d of 2 seconds. Anyways, not a whole lot up. Just you know, making some videos, trying to write some newer stuff, trying to idle read write timeout. Maybe that one too. Trying to come up with some new fun stuff and make sure that we're not just leaving everybody down the same paths over and over and over, but also not getting like too in depth, and then of course not reverse engineering real stuff, because that causes all sorts of issues. The 0 IO mode, report connection status only, append rather than club or specify. Send data, ignore receive, only. Let's see here. Connection brokering mode? Ooh. That sounds fancy. Might try that. Verify trust and domain certificates. Driverless containing. So it's definitely not redirecting, and I think it's because it's redirecting command.exe and we're not feeding the output past the caller, so we're only going to be getting what's here. Let me try to do it without command.exe. I don't think it will be able to, but let's see what it does. Yeah, not found. Here we would need mount though. Let's try mount c mnt. Of course, this is all going to be lowercase, I think. Of course, it's going to be case specific. Ooh, we're running. We didn't crash. Ooh, press any key to continue. So we got that. We didn't get any of our other output. Oh, there it is. Enter the password. Oh, you be so silly. So let's try taking the delay out. Actually, let's change to I1. That idle. Oh, whoops. No, not idle. Oh, what was the other one? Not the idle timeout, but the connection timeout. Wait. Connect timeout. W. Okay. So we don't see enter the password yet. Put that in. We didn't see it at all there. So let's go delay 4. Maybe we're just not high enough in delay. 4. So let's change this delay to 1 and see what happens. Because 2, we got something. Pressing a key to continue. enter the password. Oh, you'd be so silly. So basically, we're getting the standard output backwards. That should be good enough, but I don't think that our string will work now because it's being called. Oh, it does. It works great. So yeah, if you can get it to redirect to anything on your copy, you can get it to redirect to anything on this copy as well. Let me just forward some ports and fire up Vagrant. Oh man, no, that's okay. Let's see here. Well, this is all in the VM anyways, so I don't care. I can always pull it back. And most of you have access. Whoa, that's cool. Wait a minute here. I just ran ls in command prompt. Wait, does ls work in my native command prompt? CMS. Man, got us close enough. ls. Oh, it does. Okay, did I put in an alias or somebody else did? Oh, do I have sigwin? Yes, that's why. That's why. Exit. So end of the day, serving fandom was correct. We didn't need to host it through the C if we wanted to get any output. Now it isn't outputting like when I want it to. Somebody probably knows the answer to that. And of course we could dir or ls, and we could type in, we can run whatever we want now. But of course you no longer get tab completion. I remember the first time I gained remote access to something, and I didn't have tab, like typing things in was very funny. Backspace didn't work. You had to do control H, I think. So it's running now, and basically we're getting that same sort of delayed output still. So Notepad. Now anything that you run on here is going to launch on the target computer, but inside of a different context. Let's see if it actually launched a note. We do have two running. Do I have two open? No, I don't. I only have one. So there's the notes. Don't save. So here's that other one that was launched by me, but it was launched through NC. Through NCAT launching the SS pretest and UAC virtualization not allowed enabled on one of them. And then launching the notepad. Now you'll see that if I close netcat over here, this connection is going to get lost and go back to its prompt, and this notepad will disappear. Or it now comes out of the context and notepad pops up. So it's still running. It's just now able to be seen. So anything that we launch thereafter would actually seemingly be running in sort of a pause state because it's launched from a program that, okay, that makes sense. So we're inside a program. We've called a shell. Inside that shell, we're calling things. But it seems to be either waiting for it to resolve because it's holding up the current thread that would continue off, or it's just this WSL stuff that's being real weird. But I think that's pretty standard. NC. If we just want the good message. Congratulations, but can you get? We've just erased that with that, and it won't give it to us, but it should have. I think what we need is a combination of D and W. Wait 4 seconds before closing, and D 2 seconds. I think that will do it. That won't do it. The program's exiting properly, so standard out is not being a thing. That should, oh, was it the 6s that we go to? So if I remove the 6s, I think we'll be okay. Nope. Let's remove the delay 2, delay 1, wait 4. I'm sure there's a way to do this with like redirect. Or I've done it before. So if it crashes, you get nothing, but if it exits properly, you'll get something. Or you'll get a shell. It's not the best written program, that's for sure. Now, from here, can we do bash? Bash is not recognizable. Okay, let's try /bin/bash. No. Cause wait, does bash.exe work? Okay, the reason I say that is CMD. Oops, not what the, I said CMD. I love Windows search, CMD. CMD, and you get not CMD. I can type bash here, and it will give me my bash. So we're in CMD, but the path seems to be exploded. So if we were to navigate to it, I wonder if this works. Big win. And that works. Now we can type bash, I think. Oh, we're let's go. Who am I? Now the problem with this, oh, we did get a response that time. This says we're not going to get a response. Exit, and that's going to put us back in bash. Exit. Now we're back logged out, and interesting. Exit. And then we see the congratulations, you got me, but can you get command.exe? Like, yeah, we did. What was that other one that we calculated? I closed it already. Ah, screw it. Anyhow, you get the picture. Let me expose port 1337. Something. rdp.giveacademy. Nope, that's a lie. It's changed, so bear with me. Hiccups. Setting network advanced. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm working on the VM, inside the VM. Let's go. Add a rule 192.168.025.1337, and that'd be 10.02.5 on 37. Okay. Okay. And we leave this running. Close this. Let's grab forwarder. Root. That's what we'll set up. This in the future. We'll make a jail. Can't see the chat right now. If anybody is talking, I apologize. Give me RDP.2. This guy. Time to live. 2 minutes. All you get. All right. So let's test that out. I'm going to try to NC in from MOBA. MOBA. I don't have MOBA. All right, you can see what I'm doing again. You got to leave that running. Don't need that. That. These. That. Or this. That. MOBA X term. Basically, I just want to connect to my server, but I don't want to put my private key over there. So anyways, I'll put this up here, and I'll try it from my server that I have open over here already. So, and see, hey, look at that. And see, doesn't look right. Oh, yeah, it is. rdp.give.academy port 1337. And cat. Let me open the chat back up. There we go. Could not resolve host name. There we go. And let me paste the magic string in and see if I can make some stuff pop up over there. Oh, I don't think we're actually connected. I think it just timed out. Yeah. Connection timed out. Okay. -H. Options, hostname. Okay, so -4. -N. Connection timed out. Oh, derp. Routers are a thing. Let's just open that port on my router here real quick. Not that router. That router. Yes. If anyone's key logging me right now, then they will just have a massive, just tons of different passwords. Be good for them. Good for them. Also, ding like 20 minutes ago for myself in the future to cut that up. And basically, we're just trying to make it to 420 now. We're gonna celebrate that together. We're gonna get there. We're gonna make it. Okay, let's go. Port forwarding. Everything. Okay. Yeah, cool. Manually enter 192.168.0.125 1337 TCP both remote. All of you can connect. Please wait. We're saving your changes. Changes saved. I heard of this 420 thing years ago. What is it? 420. Well, depending on where you're from, I guess it could mean a lot of things. But basically, 420 is like National Marijuana Day, National Smoke Pot Day. Funny fact, it's also Hitler's birthday, 20. This year, it's kind of ironic that 20 is the day before Easter. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely rose from the grave. At least everybody saw him. They definitely, yeah. Yeah, like national marijuana. Marijuana. Problem with this, I'll never know whether it's timing out or if it's actually connected. Is it? Okay, timed out. Telnet? That'll work. Try Telnet. Trying. Nah, it's not. I don't think it's firewall settings. No, it shouldn't be. Still trying. Either trying or we're connected. Let's paste. We're definitely not connected. Telnet-H. Can you change the port with? Yes, you can. Host name space port. So 7. Trying. Do I have to do like control enter or enter enter or dot enter? No. Go like this. Go like ncat-h. Enter telnet-t. That should work. Definitely not working. A day who all people goes on street and smoke weed. Yeah, pretty much. Except where it's like illegal. I guess they be more sneaky about it, I suppose. Somebody who has netcat try to NCAT me. Like, I know I could do it locally. I'm trying to do it outside of my network to make sure I'm getting into my network, but I can reach other services like let me see here. Ping. It's rdp.give.academy. Cat. Connection timed out. Oh boy. Here. Apt. All putty. Man. Alright. Add file descriptor. Boot grub. Wait, that's not good. Grub menu was like. I think my server tried to update, and I think that if I try to restart it, I might lose. I think I need to fix my grub bootloader. Don't restart the server. Note to self. Alright, now we have Putty launched in X11 rdp.u nothing's happening. If you just get a blank screen and it's not timing out, just try typing in like 11111 and sending that. Let's do raw 37, or after like 4 or 5 seconds, it will just time out and it will tell you that it's timed out. Open. Okay, now let's paste this in. Oh, for fuck's sake. Whoa. The fuck? MOBA closed. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's blank, but even after I enter some input, nothing happens. Not timed out either. Interesting. Did it close now? What was the L and K? And let's do -B. Or it might have been dash broker. Oh, it's dash. Yeah, it's not gonna like that. Okay, try it now. See what you get. I received a very weird output. Like when it closed, or after it closed. Making it further than I did. It used the commands I did in my shell. No, that wait, your shell? What are you talking about? Oh, that means it was probably. Wait, are you getting a connection timed out, or? Interesting. Anyhow, I will work on this and update you guys in the. I'm probably just gonna not run it through here and use Windows version in Netcat to host it. Probably clean that up a bit. But yeah, I'll work on that and I'll update you guys in Discord so you guys can play around with that. But for now, get your strings going, figure out how you're gonna do it, how you're gonna get a command shell. Weird. After you closed it earlier, then I got the weird stuff. Yeah. We'll get it figured out. So use the program from the link there, and I haven't gotten it in Discord yet, but I'll toss those in Discord here in just a couple minutes. And we will get you guys that also. Video lessons, create channel, text channel. This is going to be smash stack 1. Create channel. And can I be a baller and just drag these from there to there? Oh, that'd be so cool. Gonna work? Working? It's working. Definitely not working. Maybe if I do them one at a time. Doesn't like that. But we'll work on getting that up so you guys can play with it. But if you grab the files and figure out what strings you're going to need to shoot at it, that would be good to do first, because you'll need those. Of course, you could try to get the one out of video today. Sorry, I'm trying to up source and exe. See, coming soon. Watch for updates. Get the good message. No patching. Only the video. This video's link. Okay, so it's on Discord now. It's already been going on longer than I thought it was, because I do have a few other things I need to do. But hey, we went over the third stuff. Good job, guys. Like, really good job. Let's see if we can upload. Why did I? Dear God. That's going to set off some fanboys. Watch this. This is going to hurt people's souls. I'm going to open Edge. Crack me. Stop. Crack me. Stop. On. Okay, I don't know if I've signed up yet or not. That's not my password if I did. Or is that? Password is incorrect. Attempt number 2. Crack me. Because I'm pretty sure I did. I don't want to. Maybe I didn't. Register new account. Let's see here. Email info@give.academy. Tells me it's taken. Oh God, storefronts. That looks like a store, maybe a book found in that one. As far as these are considered, I am a robot. Already exists for info. Oh, good. That means I can probably just check my email. All right. Mail.give.academy. I done Control F9, then F8, go into return, but there comes haha where I was before, but then comes 10,000 jump commands, and then I press constantly F8, becoming access violation. If you're getting access violation, then you ended up somewhere that you shouldn't have. Something redirected flow. Try Control Shift F8 or Control Shift Alt F8. But if you're getting that many, Jesus Christ, phone calls. Yeah, you want to go to return and then F8 and then execute to return. So like, should be able to do. I'll show you in a second. Show you in just a sec. Oh boy. Bam. Back me one. Oh good, I don't have any emails from spam. Taxbible at yahoo.com. Damn it. Oh, email contains. Well, what would I have set my password to? Wait, did I seriously just do that? Like, was that it? Nope, that was it. FJLJ. Watch as I lock myself up. 5 minutes left. Good on the guitar. Oh, can you see the guitar in the background? You can. Good is a word not used to describe much that I do. No, I'm just kidding. Good. Fuck. What is my password? It's usually always this. That. Wait. And if it's not that, it's usually always this. Attempt number 6. How many attempts will it give me before it locks me out or something? Or sends me an email or bans me from the site? Okay. And maybe? I really should read these messages. Too many of them not to read. Hey, you got the same message fucking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? Here. Okay. 3 minutes. You good on the guitar? I used to play a bit. Let's say I don't play that much anymore. What the hell did I set my password to, guys? Seriously, what did I set it to? Well, let's try a username with a different password. Or email like that. I used to play quite a bit, but I was never really good. I mean, I got to where I had calluses and my fingers didn't hurt anymore. I could play a few little riffs. Now, I mean, I hardly remember half the chords. Good fucking lord, see this? Like, come on. Oh my god. Are these not boxes that contain a traffic light? These not boxes that contain stairs, the steps of the stairs, or all of the stairs? Like, apparently I'm just a damn robot. Traffic lights, okay. How many times do you guys usually have to go through this? Oh my god, I made it. What was that, 7? I gotta say, username taken, yeah. Did I set password to? Things like that make me curious. Literally just a little... Guys, what did I set my password to? Oh, wait. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Only see that. What happens if we try to make our name something like this. Oh god, now I do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please try again. 6. 7. This is technically a traffic light. Pedestrian light. 8. Do you see any motorcycles? I don't see any motorcycles. 9. 10. 10th time's a charm. Fucking crazy. Non-allowed chars, damn. Alright, well, let's go back to the login, and if literally it just shows you the number of attempts, we could be here all day. Let's see here. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. That one? I'm sure you all know what that one was. The fuck password did I use? Wait, maybe I went simple. This is getting to be epic. What this whole damn thing's just a damn troll. No, I've been here. I've logged in. I've logged in. Where did I log in though? On this one? That one. Firefox? The fuck password do I use? Does it have some weird ass fucking requirements? I don't think it really does. Or is this one of those things? I think this is what happened. Let's find out. So let's do username L2L3, and let's do fjlj@wvi.com. Let's just give it a password. And oh my god, I have to do this again. I have a fucking coronary. Hardly ever does it make me do this until right now. Like, that's a bus. That's the back of a truck. That's a bus. That's a bus. That's a bus. That's one of those flexi buses. That's a bus. That's a bus. And what if you're in a place and you've never seen a flexi bus? If I had never gone to Seattle, I never would have seen a flexi bus. I mean, I probably still would have been like, yeah, that's a bus, but guess I do good with buses. Account created successfully for. All right, so what? I know what's going on here. I can't type. Yeah, save that password, please. I think I might have just done the same thing. Wait, did I just mistype that password 8 fucking times for FJLJ? Wait, password is incorrect. Attempts 1? I just storing it in the cookie? Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. cookie. The header. Same password. API.js. Get that out of my way. Fonts. Okay, now coming back. Spectre X tool. Anyhow, we have a login. Let's upload this bitch. Upload correct me. Correct me name. What should we call it, guys? This is for lesson 3. The one that we just went over all the patches for. What should we call it? And we should probably just do a standard zip. This is the one that's correct, I believe. Okay. And to archive. Really, nobody wants to name it? Or is nobody watching? Chat rate 0. Let's call it Crack Patch Key Me 1. Let's call it Crack or Key Me 1. Which we should probably name it. Crack or Key Me 1. Let's send virus total. Hash found. Hash not found. Okay. Crack or Key Me number 1. I'm gonna say easy. Language C. Platform Windows. Crack Patch Key Me 1. Okay, not the Crack or Key Me. Crack Patch Key Me 1. Let's do a zip. Like, it doesn't need to, but please provide details. You can upload just the XML or an archive containing. We want to do, oh no, don't do patch because then it's going to require admin. People might think that we're trying to trick them. Windows 10, if it sees the word patch, setup, install, it marks it as needing elevation, which we definitely don't need elevation. Crack, let's just do Crack or Key Me. We'll do camel case. Nobody likes camel case. There you go. Crack or Key Me 1. And we need a readme. New text document readme.txt. The primary goal of this is to create a working and tested working patched executable. It's not that hard. And not that hard, but there is a lot of information to be gained from working it. As a secondary goal, keygen can be made as a tertiary. How do you spell tertiary? I can never spell it. Oh, look at that. It doesn't even detect it as a virus at all. With all the weird ass shellcode shit in it and whatnot. Good to know. You do a run on that other one. SS pretest. Oh, that's not the right folder. Centivirus total. Hash not found. Tertiary. Thanks, CA2, aka OOF, or double out F. Dude, one of the coolest names would be just 90H. 90H. Yeah. As a tertiary goal, write a self keygen. My favorite. As a quaternary, is that spelled right? Goal. Play with stack / buffer overflow. Is that even a word? Quaternary? Quaternary. I spelled it wrong. Quaternary. Where were you? Dude, we should just add a quick, like, is debugger present hard code check. That one gets people too. We don't actually ever call is debugger present. We just run the code that is debugger present runs. Anyways, let's call it that. Have fun. Never stop learning. You're never too old to learn. Where is Blue? He was up this time last night. Never stop learning. Never too old to learn. Blue made something for. I'm going to put it. Oh shoot! I didn't realize you were like sending me messages. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I get it now. You were saying password, and in the password there is only has to be of a name. Oh, the name I was thinking of. Fuck, what was the name? I don't even remember now. Jesus. Sorry for ignoring these relevant messages. I was talking about this when you mentioned the password thing on you. Right. So, hey, you really gotta sleep. The password is just the enter the password, and the one character is the Y. 21. Yeah. Because that tells it to go to that address. It's the 79 to go to the good boy message. Because the other ones could be X or really anything. Excuse me. But that Y will be there no matter what. The name, I think it was just called like stack simulation or smash the stack simulation. Oh, no, it's called emulated Stack Overflow. Yeah. No, simulated Stack Overflow. I don't remember. I'm not going to try to pretend like I remember. But I do want to look up this message from Blue. He sent me a picture. Where is it? Was it really that long ago? Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. Wait, what? Blue? Blue sent something. And I know that you sent me too. And then, man, people sending me stuff all damn time. I guess I asked for it. Send me your stuff. Questions, your comments. And this stream has gone on enough, so happy 420 now, 16 minutes late. Turn that on. Where? Oh, there it is. Live to learn. You're never too old to learn. Never stop learning on. Never stop learning. Live to learn. I'll save. And that's crack or key me 1. Read me. And hop back into the chat. Have a good rest of the night, my man. I will see you too. Thank you for your help. Came in strong there with that tertiary. Needed that. And I hope if you missed the beginning part of the stream where it was actually decent before I was tired and kind of rambling, because there comes a point where I'm like done with the content that I had planned, and then it's like, let's wing it for a little while and see what happens. Next thing I know, it's like a 3-hour stream and nobody wants to watch it. How long is this stream at this point? Let's see here. This stream is almost 3 hours. Like I said. So yeah, the content that I had planned was like, okay, lead in about 10 minutes, like intro, get the stream up, and then from that point we did the coverage, and then from that point we did the fun stuff, kind of an intro to some fun stuff, and then from that point to the end, which is now about an hour and a half worth, garbage, just straight up garbage. So really trying to work on that, but it's, editing is hard. Like, fun fact, my original videos back in the day, every single one that I ever uploaded, never edited. So what I would do is I'd screen record, and I had a pause and a start button, and then I had a stop button. So I'd hit start and I'd go, and if I felt like I was gonna mess up or cough or sneeze, I'd reach over and hit pause, and I'd do my sneeze or my cough or whatever, and then I'd come back and I'd try to make sure everything was in the same spot, and I'd hit even my face, I'd like resume. Or this is mostly before I even had my face camera. That would have been way too much. And then I hit resume and try to resume talking in the exact same spot that I was. Sometimes I'd hit pause and come back hours later, and then I'd watch it back. And if it wasn't right, or if I messed it up too much, or if I jumped too far, I'd start from the beginning. It was easier to do the same process 6 to 7 times than it was to edit a fucking video back then. Like, I could just do it once and then render it and it'd be done, or I'd render this big thing and try to make a cut and 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 then render that, and oh my god, the rendering times back then were really, really annoying. So that's how I did it. I would record the screen with my audio, which the audio was its own problem in the beginning. Then it got better. Then it got worse again, then it got better again. Anyways, yeah, I would do pause and then resume, just to avoid editing. And then when I got back into it, I was like trying to do that, and then I was like, well, I want some more interaction with people. Well, I just hate editing. I guess I'll do live stream. I like the live stream. I like live stream. I like the interaction. I like the where it takes me sometimes, but I don't like that I get 3-hour videos because I talk a lot. I ramble. I know this about myself. Some people like it, some people don't. I happen to be on the side of the fence that don't. Crack or key me. I don't mind it. Don't think that I'm like trying to say I don't like that I talk a lot about myself, because it's just part of who I am. I know it could be annoying and whatnot, but I don't really care. Okay, Windows. Did I just hear a fucking car horn honk in my back ass yard? No yard. I mean, there's no road, it's just yard. Have to go check that out. Cracker Kimi info. Written in old GCC. No. In old C compiled on old GCC. Some fun stuff to learn and some decent beginner traps. Overall, this can be patched, test, or patched. File. Keygen. Gend? We're going with it. Or you. Oh, keygen. Also. So there is room to play with buffer, stack overflows. Find some way to enjoy this. Virus total scan was. Oh, see, pretest comes up from VBA32 as a B-scope adware pre-Sinoker. Pre-Sinoker. Let's look that up. Pre-Sinoker. Damn it, this is crack or Kimi. Yeah, that's what I called it. Let's go. Tiny URL. Make tiny. Or give the copy to clipboard. Virus total scan. Oh god, a CAPTCHA. Cars. I did good with buses. That's a car, that's a car, that's a car, that's not a car. Oh, damn, there's more. Please also check the name. Dang, at least it was smart enough to know that I hadn't waited. Okay, that's a car. And, oh. Okay, verify. Wait, that's a motorcycle. Not a car. Storefront. Japan Golf storefront. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe? That looks like the side of a building. That one, that is not a store. If it is, they're closed indefinitely. And looks more like a store side. Oh, we got it. Number of cracked me's 1. Number submitted solutions 0. We should change that. And I should really find my password to my FJLJ. I logged in. Oh, it was on Firefox on the VM before I reset it. So I doubt, not now, track me on, doubt that it has my password. Yeah, something that I didn't back up. Let's try the old AR1 equals. Oh. Well, I'll figure that out later, I suppose. But we have uploaded a crack me, and let's go latest crack me's. And of course, it's not going to be here yet because it's going to go through, I would hope, some type of acceptance, rejectance letter. Difficulty 4. Ooh. I feel like that's supposed to be high or something. Borland, Delphi, Windows, comments. Let's check it out. How do we... Oh, name. All right. I coded this app in 2007 and gave it a pro to protect it against reverse engineering and bypassing the login system. Since I don't have the original source code anymore, I'm curious about solutions to see my old application again. Hence, the underlying application is written in C#. Okay. The pro has apparently packed it into a Delphi application. Okay. Patching is explicitly allowed if the login system is bypassed. A big form opens. Bonus point for extract the embedded C# program.net executable or DLL. I mean, I feel like that's not really a crack me, but sure, let's see what we can do. Borland typically is going to, like, this is a big crack me one. Like, this is a big waste of time. We'll find out. Patch the login. Yeah, it has the word patch. So it's going to automatically assume it needs. Okay, you're trying to tell me that a 330 kilobyte file is packed and contains a C# program. I believe it. Take a quick peek here. Oh, guys, check this out. Binary Ninja. If you've never seen it before, this is another free-ish one. Yes, we can. Boom. But this will show you like heat maps and, well, entropy map, I suppose. And it does analysis. However, this takes a long time to analyze. It does also do disassembly. Now, what I want to do real quick is debug x64. Oh, this turned off, damn it. Yep, my bad. Is make sure that we are in login. Let's do a quick analysis. Good lord. These eggs are driving me nuts. Oh god, that's clever. Those guys are great. Fucking version. View memory. Anybody see memory map? There it is. So yeah, this is BSS. Would be Borland. Code data. All iData. Yay. Curious. Protection. We have execute code, and then we have read write, read write, read write, read write. Initial, excuse me. So, and login is just read code. And be where all to execution more than likely goes on. Anyways, let's go search for current module. Calls virtual free, virtual alloc, local alloc. Toggle breakpoint on all those. Unhandled exception filter that many times. Interesting. Get command line. Char next at. These are very strange. Box, exit process. Get proc address. Or copy, reg open key, query value. Copy. Let's create file. Write file, read file. Write file. Load library A. Okay. That should be good enough. I don't know that this is going to be used. Maybe. We'll find out. All right. Local allocation. Following disassembler. Gonna run through it real quick here. This software requires administrative privileges to run. That's gee. Although I can see why. Because it's packed. Theoretically. We've been told it is packed. String. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh damn it, all modules? How did I do that? Search for current module. Get long path name A. Interesting. Kernel 32. Interesting. Load from get real proc address. Interesting. All right. Well, let's do this where we run it. K cheat nickname. Restart as admin. Yeah, I know. And look, here is a .NET program, as you can see. So why don't we just do this? KC login. Let's go to details. Login. Oh, look, there's two of them. Let's open file location. That one desktop. File location. That one also on the desktop. What do you know? So do my favorite thing in the world. Command. Interesting. All right. So let's go exit. Run. Let's hold down the old F9 button here. Running. Then let's go to the old handles button here and go refresh. And Kcheat login. Windows Forms 10. And that one. Okay. Thread, main thread, parent 0. Kcheat password. Name. Windows Forms 1. What if we just attach to it and then dump the bytecode? Like, this is going to be fun, actually. We will go through this, but not tonight because it is. I've let this turn off twice now. Damn it. Because 12:30 I do have to work in the morning, and we did what we came to do today. And this video is already ridiculous enough. So without any further ado-dos, maybe we'll work on a few of these in our time in between. We will see what we can do here and there and everywhere. Create file is going to be a good one to start with there. Also temp file. I don't think it was actually running 2. I think I ran 2. Because I had one in the debugger, I think. Yeah, I did. It wasn't actually running 2, but it is running something. And we could... Ooh. Just real quick since we're here. Anyways, as I'm closing this all up... well, thank you. I appreciate it. Utility. Let's do... one. No, that wasn't it either. Oh, maybe it is. Oh, yeah. Hook. Again. Get this one. Anyways, closing this up here. Thank you guys for stopping in. And as always, none of this really matters if nobody wants it. So I hope that give you something to learn today. And I know that a lot of it today is. Thanks for chatting. I've had a lot to catch up with on, a lot in here that I want to get out there, even if it doesn't make sense, because it'll make sense to me later. And I do hope you have a fantastic 420. That was underwhelming. I think I forgot to load it too. It's awesome. So, that's what I'm going to a little bit. Anyways, you guys have a good night, and have a great day. Peace out. Until next time, hopefully next week. And if you got any ideas, exactly every day 420. 2 rules: never stop learning, always keep it skunky. Anyways, if you have some ideas, drop those in Discord. You can direct message me. I may not respond right away, but eventually I will. You can also drop them in general. And for anyone who's new around here and wants to be around here in the future, get the little notifications when they work from doing that, subscribe and whatnot, bell thing or whatever you call it. You know, I used to say back in my videos, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Well, most of that doesn't even exist anymore. Well, 1/3 of it. There's no rating. It's either thumbs up or down, but I ramble. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time.